Total Kim! Grease Blizzard!
Are you ready?
激闘進化グリスブリザードガキガキガキガキガキキン
Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and today we have another SHF review. We have the P-Bandai exclusive or P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard. Now this was mostly seen in the, I'm not sure if it was the last episode or the one episode before the last episode, and this was used only one time in the main series. Because the reason why it was only used at one time is because the character died after using this form. But yeah, but the form was definitely amazing. It looked really cool. So I guess because of that, it made it up to SHF figure. So as mentioned, this is a P-Bandai exclusive, meaning it's a web shop exclusive or limited edition, depending on how you understand it. Before I go on to the review, I would like to mention I won't be making any comparisons with Cross the Magma for obvious reasons, because they're not the same writer, they're not the same character, but I will be making comparisons with the original Grease form. But also not Cross the Magma itself, but I will be making some comparisons with the Cross the Magma's Knuckle, because some people, when people buy such items, they're kind of concerned when it comes to the figure, because most of the figure parts are very small, they wonder if they literally just recycled previous formats, and which is why I'm going to make comparisons, because this is not that case. Okay, so I'm going to put this down and keep the stand away, because I kind of almost dropped the figure while putting on that stand. So what you get, of course, is obviously the rider himself. You get the rider himself. Actually, I need to adjust the stand. Sorry about that. You get the rider himself, and then you get the Blizzard Knuckle, you get the claw hand, and then you get a fist hand for your right hand, and then you get two more hands for your right hand, and that is it. Number one is a open posing hand, which for the hand pose that he does before transforming, and a multi-purpose hand to hold the knuckle, and possibly the driver handle as well. Okay, so now let's get on to the review. So actually I'm going to go with the articulation first, and then I will go on with the comparison. Once again, the moment I received this and I opened the box, it exceeded my expectations. I really love how they did with the figure. They did this really nice metallic blue color going on very well, and then it's like, and there's this mixture of a clear there's some clear plastic going on. I'm not sure if they colored on top of the clear plastic, but there's definitely a mixture going on here. So with the eyes, definitely, it's really, I mean, it is Grease's head, but still it's really hard to see the original Grease's like translucent head style going on. So I think it's still translucent on some areas. So the parts that aren't colored blue, I think those are still translucent or transparent. I love the eyes, and be careful with the paint in general, and then be careful with the horns, because that's one part that could break off easily if you're not careful. So articulation wise, it's very nice. You can go down that much, up that much, and this 360 twist. I'm gonna say it is possible, but you're gonna have to force your way through. And then again, this guy's a human, so yeah. And if you look at the back side, you can see there is still that translucent area going on there. And then when you look at the back, I believe the back is surprisingly same, I believe. Okay, now let's get the body. The main body, very nice blue detail, and then love that clear plastic that's going on the middle, and the ab crunch. Actually, I'm gonna have to take this part out just to show you guys. We have this nice separated part right over here, so you can you have a nice ab crunch going on. And then 360 twist, once again, being not a perfect circle but more of an oval shape, you can't go 360. Let's get the shoulders. Now the shoulders, each shoulder is different. While the original Grease had the same symbol, on one side we have the Kamen Rider Grease's original symbol, or the robot full ball or robot full jelly, the robot jelly symbol. And on the other side we have the three crows. We have the castle, the owl, and the stag beetle. Very nice, well done. Love the coloring on this. And like the original Grease, you can rotate these around, because like in Grease, when he does certain finisher move, these parts would move like this, and then on this end side they would like do a boost. The shoulder kind of similar gimmick where you can move the shoulder armor itself a little bit, but mine's a little bit stiff at this point. You can move the arm a little bit 90 degrees, and then you have a 360 twist, and the shoulder does have a forward and backward movement. And the arm, only 90 degree bend, or a little bit more than 90 degrees, but still you get the main idea. It's not a double joint. Same goes for the other arm, only about that much. Hands are your typical ball jointed hand, and on the claw hand, I think this is actually connected as a ball joint. I'm not going to risk it, but it looks like you can take it out. But keep in mind, this figure does not provide any left hand, so you're probably not going to do that. And even though you do get like a hand from, let's say, original Grease, you're going to have to color the inside blue because, yeah, that circle there is supposed to be blue. And regarding other than the ball joint connection, the claws do move, but only the top parts move. And the middle joint does not move, which is kind of a shame. I was hoping that there would be more movement, but oh well. So do not move, do not force the bottom section because that is not meant to move. So yeah, don't break it. At least when it comes to model kits, when you break something, there is a way. There's always at least that way they can buy another one and then replace it. But when it comes to figures, the price, not so good. Okay, so now let's the build, the driver, pretty much identical, same thing. You have the moving handle and yada yada. Now I wish they didn't attach this part because obviously there's really no reason for this. I mean, you can't even attach the bottles right here. So yeah, and Grease never actually had other bottles to use at this point. So yeah, we really wish they didn't put this here. And then again, I guess by the looks of it looks like a separate connection, so I guess I could take this part off and then maybe recolor the yellow. But who knows. Okay, now let's look at the legs. The legs are pretty much standard SHF legs these days. You have the moving side. We have the side swivel going on here. The leg can go about almost 90 degrees. Sorry about that. My nose is tickling for some reason. And then you have a nice double jointed bend. And you can see overall not only blue, but you can also see these all black linings going on. I know this is supposed to be like a ice concept, but I'm not sure what's going on with the overall blue areas right over here. And your feet have your typical rotation feet. Nice pivot going on here, and then a toe bend. There we go. Now I don't think this has that ball jointed connection between the leg and the feet, where like if you've seen my G3 review, you can kind of see the feet can move around like it's connected to a ball joint. I think the new ones don't have that, and the newer figures, I think they have a smaller feet, which is why I have more trouble making them stand on their own. As you can see, like I'm kind of struggling at the moment. Okay, now before the comparison, I guess I should go through the equipment first. So the only equipment we get is the Blizzard Knuckle, and as I mentioned, like on my Cross the Magma review, these do not actually fold in. You have to take them apart and then reattach it to make the knuckle. Oh, sorry about that. There we go. So yeah, there's the knuckle, and then you can take out the bottle. Now, unlike Crossing Magma, where they gave you like an active and an inactive bottle, they only give you this one. Now, I would like to mention that this is not the exact same remold of the Magma bottle. Oops. Because yeah, while the Magma bottle they had this frozen, like solidated lava look, this one actually has a more sorry about that. This ice look onto it. But of course, this is not how the ball is originally supposed to be. This is supposed to be, there's supposed to be another drawing on with the Grease symbol and the three crows. This one does not have that. But considering it's how small this thing is, I can understand that. Okay, now so yeah, you can put the bottle in there, and then you can see the connection right over here, and we have the handle. I'm going to attach the hand first, and then the the knuckle. Okay, and then all you need to do is attach it, and there we go. We have the knuckle right over here. So yeah, it holds on pretty well. Some hands, like I tried to attach this knuckle to Grease's hand, and problem is because of the twin breaker, it was holding that for too long. The hand kind of expanded, so it wasn't able to hold it, properly like this, where it's staying up front. Right now, if I attach this to the grease, it will fall down. It will like loop down like that. Okay, so that's pretty much it because Grease never actually had weapons. I mean, Grease Blizzard didn't use much weapons other than the knuckle, and then you have this claw arm going on. Okay, so let's go on with some comparisons. So before I go on with the the actual rider himself, let's go with the knuckles. So as you can see, I hope I can zoom in more like this. So we have the Grease Blizzard knuckle and the Magma knuckle. So you can see they're the same format, but as you can see, while the Magma one has circles, the Blizzard one has squares, and then obviously the symbol is different. And you can see this one has a more mechanical look, while the Blizzard knuckle actually looks like it's frozen up. So yeah, it's not exactly a remold or reuse of the same mold. Okay, now let's go on with the whatchamacallit. Is the actual comparison. Let's see how much differences there are. Now, because obviously it's not like they just got this figure and then slapped some blue on it and then resold it, because there's some differences. So obviously the color is different, and by the looks of it, we can see the shoulders are exactly the same. And the armor, yeah, even these armor plates are exactly the same size, but with different drawings on it. The arms itself, I think the arms are different because at least the lower arm seems to be pretty identical almost, but the upper arm, this part section here, we have this molding here. This one has a more smooth molding because obviously this is a splash driver, so there are going to be some differences. And the armor in general, I think they're almost identical because yeah, we have the same two squares here. So yeah, I think for the clear part they recolored this on the top part. The head also seems to be colored, but instead of like, they still use the same plastic, but colored on top of it with multiple coatings on it. Okay, the belt is obviously different, and the legs are very different because this is a splash driver rider, so obviously it's going to be different because the build driver also had its own like template going on. So yeah, there's a big difference going on here. Other than that, let's see the back. The back is identical, I guess, other than the black coloring on the inside compared to Grease's the splash driver version. So yeah, you can see. Now, it's not exactly 100% identical. Oh boy, yeah. I'm having trouble making these stand up on their own. So yeah, if you really love this character and rider, definitely get it because the quality is top notch and there's so much poses and fun stuff you can do with these figures. At this point, if they do release an SHF version of the Perfect Kingdom version, I think I might get it. Of course, it would depend on the price. If it's like 120 to 150, then I wouldn't be able to order it. But this one, if it's like about maybe maximum 100, then definitely I will be getting it. So this was the review of the P-Bandai exclusive SHF Kamen Rider Grease Blizzard. If you guys got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews out, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time!